Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Beth. This is Spiral Path Healing Arts, and welcome to my cozy little parlor this morning. And I have Cass here in my lap, this head in my lap, and you can see Miss Lilith behind me. And I kind of feel like maybe I should explain this hair today. Yesterday, last evening, I made dinner. I made a wonderful scallop risotto from scratch. It was delicious. And I had to open a bottle of wine, and you got to drink a little wine if you're going to cook with wine. It's just kind of the rule. And I didn't over drink the wine, but I drank wine while I was cooking, and then drank wine while I was eating. And anyway, after dinner, I took a shower and washed my hair, and then the wine started talking to me, and it said, curl your hair this tonight. So I got out these, and I don't have them here close by. They're over there. These little, hold on, let me go get them. These things. Have you seen these little, they kind of look like those Chinese finger puppets, finger puzzles, that hold your fingers. They're woven. Anyway, you have like this really big crochet hook thing that you slide through the tube of this because it opens. And then you hook a piece of hair and you pull it down through. And then by the end of time you get your whole head done, you've got these little Medusa things in your head. So I did that. And then I tried to sleep in it. And about 11:30, I was just like, no, I'm not. I can't. It hurts. It's pulling my head. And I got up and pulled them out. And then I went back to bed. And I didn't put my sleep bonnet on. I didn't put my satin pillowcase on. So it was all kinds of crazy this morning. But there were like 2 or 3 just perfect little Irish step dancer ringlets in here that I was like, if my whole head did that, that would be amazing. But it didn't. And then I brushed it out, and this is what we ended up with. So I have kind of a reliving high school, although my hair never looked this good in high school. If you went to high school with me, you can attest. My hair I never had. If I got a spiral perm, it was just a big frizz ball, and then if I didn't, anyway. This video is not about my hair. This video is about my new family member. You can see Miss Lilith back there in the new cat tree. I put the bed that my daughter got her for Christmas in that nook. She loves it. Mr. Cass is sitting here on the floor talking to me. But our house has a new member, and I'm going to go get him because he doesn't come when he's called. So there you know, it's not a puppy. Hey, baby, come here. Come here, big guy. Oh, big guy. This is this handsome fella. This is Henry, also known as Henrietta. And let me tell you the story. See how long he stays here with me. He may or may not stay on here. Oh, I got a purr. Oh, wait. You're on the microphone, though. Well, shoot. I don't know how that sounded. But the cat's not on the microphone anymore. And he's decided he's going to go off on an adventure. But let me tell you the story of Henrietta, a.k.a. Hank, a.k.a. Henry, my latest kitty cow. I met Henrietta before Henrietta even had a name when I came to Selma in April to look at this house and put in an offer and ultimately buy this house. And how that happened was I was staying at the Magnolia Mansion that is owned by my friend Bill. I had never met Bill before. That was just a lucky happenstance, too, that I booked a night with him. And the morning that I was to come look at the house, I stepped out on his front porch, beautiful spring morning, and was standing out there having my cup of tea. And this cute little black and white cat, street cat, came up on the porch and was rolling over and was purring and wanted her belly rubbed. and her ears scratched, and she was kind of scrawny and, you know, little, maybe 6 months old was my guess. Then that morning, later, Bill came out, and I said something about this. I said, "Oh, that's a good omen for me that a black and white cat came and welcomed me to Selma this morning, because of my Lilith, and I have a affinity to black cats, white cats, and black and white cats. Well, actually, I have an affinity to all dogs and cats for the most part, but in my personal life." And he's like, "Oh yeah, she's been hanging around quite a bit lately." And he has 3 cats inside his house. He's like, I'm not sure if she is owned by someone on the street or is a street cat. So anyway, fast forward to June when I was closing and moving in and had made fast friends with Bill, and we were talking regularly and, looking forward to my moving here and things like that. And he said to me, well, by that time, I guess he had kind of started feeding her on the front porch, and he'd named her. And I'm like, well, once you name them, they're yours. And he said, well, Henrietta has been missing, hasn't been showing up for the last couple weeks. I'm really worried about her. He lives on the main drag going into town, so a lot of traffic, 4 lanes, turning lane, but he hadn't seen any signs that she'd been hit or anything like that. She just had disappeared for a couple weeks. And I was like, oh, that's too bad. Well, maybe somebody else took her in. She's a very friendly little cat. Well, then fast forward a week or so more, she shows up again, looking a little worse for wear. So he feels bad for her, and he takes her, and he has an apartment on his garage. It's unfinished. And he put her in there so because, being a street cat, he didn't know what kind of parasites or other things she might have. Didn't want to bring her in the house with his other cats. Brought her in there, and then he said, I think she's pregnant. And I said, oh, well, that's exciting. I said, well, that would explain where she's been for a couple weeks. She's been out catting around. And so I was very busy with, obviously, getting moved in, getting unpacked, figuring out my life here, dealing with the weather, thunderstorms and extreme heat, and all the things of the first month or so here. But I kept, I would see Bill, we'd hang out together, I'd go over there for dinner, whatnot, and we'd check on Henrietta. And yeah, she was getting a little chubbier, and he was feeding her really well. And she, and he's like, and I said, well, usually, and we don't know exactly when she got pregnant, but, we can expect midsummer sometime, to have kittens. And I was thinking, well, that'll be perfect for me because she has some kittens. I'll take a kitten when it's about 8 to 10 weeks old, and I'll have a new kitten. And that's really what I wanted, is I wanted a kitten here. I figured the smarty pants behind me here would maybe accept a kitten better than another adult cat. Well, 4th of July came and went, no sign of kittens, which we thought, well, that might be a little early. And I, again, busy, didn't always see Henrietta when I would go over there, but he would say, oh yeah, checking on, she's getting really big. And now I have experience with mother cats, pregnant cats, from farm cats back when I was a kid. And then around Labor Day, when we still hadn't had any kittens, I was like, if she doesn't have kittens this weekend, you better get her into the vet and have her checked out and make sure everything's okay. And then I went out in there and I said, this cat's not pregnant. He's like, well, she's got a belly on her and she doesn't want me to touch her belly. I said, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, call the vet, get her in to see the vet. And I might have my dates and times off it by a little bit. But anyway, and I don't want me to sound like I was the voice of experience and knowledge and told him what to do, because I think he was going to do that anyway. Long story short, takes her to the vet. Henrietta is not a Henrietta. Henrietta is a Henry. And there were obviously no babies because biologically that would be impossible. But what had happened was during her 2 week sabbatical out on the town, he must have gotten into a fight with another cat and either had a scratch or a cat bite kind of in the groin area, and it had abscessed, and it was full of abscess, grossness. So that was taken care of. He came back. Then over the time, about shortly, I feel right after the visit to the vet and everything, Bill took in another kitten that had been living under the house next door. And we know for sure this one is a male, and his name is Bernardo. Hey now. Come here. Come here. And so Henrietta and Bernardo were living in the garage apartment together, and they were all getting along great. And I had casually mentioned, well, if you can't, you're not going to want 5 cats in your house. Bill and I have already determined that we are the crazy cat ladies of Selma. So I said, well, I think Henrietta's got such a great, calm personality and everything. And I've wanted another cat since I moved here. And I would be more than happy and love to give him a home here. Okay, my struggle with pronouns for my cat. Please do not be offended if you or someone you love is non-binary and uses non-binary pronouns. I don't mean to make light of it or make fun. I'm just struggling. And being a cat, she can't tell me what her preferred pronouns are. But for 6 months, we referred to this cat as a she. And now we discover she's a he. And Bill still calls her Henrietta, still refers to her as a she. She has they. I'm trying to call her Henry, him Henry more often, and refer to him as a him. And I think it's just kind of cute that I got a transgendered cat, or I don't know if she's trans or if she's just a wonderful drag queen cat. I think maybe she's just more of a wonderful, amazing drag queen cat, because that also seems appropriate. Because one of the things that also, I don't know, influenced my decision to move to Selma was HBO had a show. Actually, I think they filmed it right during the beginning of COVID. It had to do some COVID shutdowns and come back, but it's called We're Here, and it has drag queen Shangela, Bob the drag queen, and Eureka, I believe, is the third one. And they would go around to small cities, small towns, find the queer community, find people, and basically, you should watch it. But there is an episode based here in Selma, and it just made me love the city and the people even more, to see how. And I actually recognized some of the places that, and the people that they talked to. In that, I know some of the people that they had conversations with, difficult conversations with, about race and gender and the queer community in small communities like this. And I watched it right before I came to Selma to buy my house. And then also that weekend was the weekend I met Henry/Henrietta. So when I say that my cat is a drag queen or my cat is trans, or I don't mean to make light of the community at all, and I apologize if anyone is offended. I just want to be clear about that and telling Henrietta's story. It's all with love and utmost respect that I make these assertions and comments about my new cat. But anyhow, that is Henry's story, and there will be much more Henry content, I'm sure, because he's got a boatload of personality, and I think eventually Lilith will be more accepting of his presence here. They ate dinner together within proximity of each other without too much yowling and spitting last night. They take turns sleeping with me at night, it seems, and have slowly come around. Lilith still thinks that the 6 foot tall multi-cat tower, she is the queen of that. That is her tower, and that is her throne. And I guess she thinks there isn't room for another queen in this house, so he may need to become Prince Henry instead of Queen Henrietta. We'll see. But I'm just glad to share him with you, and it was just a fun story. It just felt like it was meant to be. Practically the first creature that I met, the first being, human or otherwise, that I met here in Selma when I was here to buy my house. And then just coincidences and situations kept them in my life. And so now here we are. And we're all happy here in the big house together. And he's adjusting wonderfully to being a house cat and living the lap of luxury and kind of just taking over in here. So thanks so much. I hope you have a wonderful new year. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this hair. What do you think? Should I go put on my fringe jacket and my footloose boots and shake my ass on the hood of Whitesnake's car? Or should I just go put it in Wednesday braids? You tell me.
That catnip toy. Oh my goodness gracious, you played that catnip toy. Oh, I'll have fun.
I'm gonna have to go order another one of those. Lilybell, what are you doing up there? You like it up there? You like it up there fine, except you don't like that you have company. You got the sweet spot there, kitten. What are you doing? I'm trying to take a video of you, handsome. Oh, do I need biscuits on my belly? I think I do. I need some biscuits on my belly. Hmm? Oh, hi. Hi. If I zoom out a little bit. There we go. Is that better? All right. Welcome to your first night in the house. Oh, yes, you're such a pretty kitten. All right. Now we're all good until Lilith shows up. Good night. You're a snot. As the big cats gather at the watering hole, there is a little tension within the pride. The female is not sure she is wanting the attention of the large male cat. And she is letting him know her feelings on the matter. The large male, on the other hand, is clearly oblivious, as is typical of their gender. He's more interested in the mechanics of the bubbling water than he is in the female. How will this impasse conclude itself? What would really disrupt the peace of the watering hole would be if the large hippopotamus were to come and make his presence known at the watering hole as well. You gonna go get a drink of water, hippopotamus? It's like, no, I'm staying away from that nonsense. But the hippopotamus is a naturally peaceful animal and chooses to let the big cats fight it out on their own. Meanwhile, back at the watering hole, the male cat has decided that his thirst is more important than the reaction of the snotty female.